The subject for today's show is called Exploring the Little P. Psychic number 1 is Lillian, psychic number 2 is CK, and our little P number 3 is Ebony. So join us for another hour of kicking it around.
Of High Strangeness. We finally are getting time to get together and talk about our experience on our trip. If you had forgot, we went to California and visited Omar, and then went down to LA to do some things. And so, this is our follow-up to find out how we're doing. So what did you gain from the trip?
My matches are wet. What did I gain from the trip? I'm glad to be home. We learned a lot. I was real honored that it went with me, and so that we were able to do that together, because it was spiritually really enlightening to work with you. And what did I learn? I learned that I don't want to live in California. Okay. And you?
I learned how to live in the now.
Wow.
Yes, it's very complicated, but I live my life on a schedule. I have a schedule for everything. And just getting out and doing something, not knowing what you're going to do the next day or who you're going to meet, is really nice. And we did schedule some things, and we never got to do it because things came up.
Well, you fell on your face. You almost died from food poisoning.
Yeah, and we never got to take you to the observatory or to Beverly Hills. Did we go to Beverly? We did.
No, we didn't go to the Hollywood sign.
Yeah, the Hollywood side. But, we had a good time. And I'm glad that you got to join us through the ups and the very downs. But, so I'm back on my schedule because I recently got a new job.
Mm-hmm.
So I am scheduled for everything now.
Uh-huh. If you had your brothers, which would you rather?
It's nice not having a schedule, but it's also nice having a schedule so you know what you're doing and what's going to come next. But having that excitement of not knowing what's coming is okay until something bad happens, but that's the surprise in life.
Yeah. We didn't see that coming, did we?
No. So, Lillian, we all know that you fell on your face too shortly after we came back. Your face is looking much better. How are you feeling?
I don't feel like Freddy Krueger anymore. I did fall on my face from the pollution and everything. I'm feeling much better. It was a long road, and I don't want to do that anymore either. I don't know if we learned anything from that or not. Do you?
Well, I'm just happy we got to come home because you were feeling pretty bad after I got out of the hospital. And I don't know how we made it home, but Universe allowed us to.
I don't know how you got home either. One of the big things I do remember is the tremendous windy heat in the desert when my T-Mobile gave me a new razor because the phone melted in the desert.
Yeah, we were stuck in the Mojave Desert.
Yeah, that's where we were. Thanks to Bank of America, people tried to send us money because we had an emergency, and they rejected it. They wouldn't take it because what they told us?
The code number or something?
Yes, the people working in, the tellers wasn't familiar with punching in the appropriate codes for Washington State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we made it home, and I see that you have your diverse culture outfit on.
I had to get back to normal. I had been like everybody else for a long time, and so I thought, since Universe gave us a second chance at life, or I don't know how many chances it was for you. I've been pretty dead there a few times before. Was it your first time?
Yeah. It just kicked us back on track.
That's what. Yeah. That's
Mhm.
all of that. Just to say that. Yeah. So.
But we had that experience.
Yeah.
So, do you have any questions for me?
I sure do. One of the things I want to talk about here for a minute is weight.
Weight?
Uh-huh. Yeah, because everybody is on the obese kick. You know what I mean? What did we eat while we were gone?
A bunch of fast food stuff. We ate at a couple restaurants, but most of the time we cooked at home and just ate little things.
I didn't have any fast food at all. I think, let me tell you where I'm going with this. I believe that when, it doesn't matter where you go and what people eat, we're all gaining weight.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm assuming that no matter what we do or try, some of the genetically engineered food is changing the genes in our body.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, look at you. You can eat for days.
Mm-hmm.
You should have been a stick.
But look at me.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's true. Can we talk about the giant tadpole?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were telling me how the Shaws had a lizard about this big, kind of looked like a snake but had 2 feet. And I said, that sounds like a tadpole, but they're supposed to be this big. But I guess they're eating some genetically engineered food and they're giant now.
They're giants, yeah.
So,
well, what it was, they had cut open some fish,
mm-hmm.
and they found 3 tails in one of those things inside of a fish. So my question is, what do
they eat?
What do they eat?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Uh-huh.
Another thing why we can be gaining weight is the Earth is getting knocked out of orbit slowly. And so our gravitational pull is different. So we all have to gain weight to stay on the ground.
Do you know that actually happened once before, about 2000, where everybody gained 4 pounds?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, and but no matter what you eat, people are unhappy about their weight.
Mm-hmm.
So how would we remedy that?
I don't know. Everybody's different. And everybody's big, so why are we complaining?
Yeah, everybody's big these days, right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so we are sexy in many parts of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of sexy, the Burning Man festival has taken place. The festival's over, and I guess they had, 60,000 people there? And you made a comment, we were driving on the road, you made a comment how there were no women, and they looked at us kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
Look how big we were then. That didn't make any difference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're loved all the same.
We did, yeah. And I blank. I just got blank. Let's take a pause here. Blank. Insurance. Keyword.
Yeah, my insurance. So, I had filed a claim with the company to see if they would pay my medical bills because they did give me food poisoning. And they didn't find any substantial evidence that directly links their food to me, which I don't understand because I gave them all these samples of everything, which they ruled out that it was food poisoning, but I don't know why. They just denied my claim. So I'm stuck with all these medical bills. They keep sending me these bills to my house, and I don't have any medical insurance, so that's why I got that's why I got a job to try to do that. And I'm working at a nursing home as a housekeeper part-time. So that's how I'm spending my free time.
It's going to take you forever to pay $8,000 to Sherman Oaks Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Long time. But here's the thing. We really going to appeal this, because unknown to them, we documented all the food.
Yes.
They didn't know that. And they did not ask one person what happened. They never questioned anybody. So I think we can beat that. So So if you get sick, regardless, first time you puke, save it. Because that's the first thing that came out was your broccoli.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird because as I was puking, all the food that I had eaten wasn't digesting.
Yeah, see, that's one we should have saved.
I was giving out whole samples of broccoli. You know, you can't be confused with that. But it just went down the toilet.
So from now on, grab a bag, and in case you have to prove what you ate.
Mm-hmm.
It's criminal what they do to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you got sick again in the desert.
Yeah, we were stuck in the Mojave Desert, and I was sick the first night.
Yeah. A lot of the medicine was heat sensitive.
It was heat sensitive.
Yeah.
And I got sunburnt,
Yeah.
which was typical, but
Yeah.
I try to keep hydrated, because that was one of the big things.
Mm-hmm. We didn't set the timer, but I want to talk about after you came back. Do you remember? Had you intended to get back to your regular life, or it just happened? Because then after you got home, something happened to you too.
I'm going to think about this for a second. I hadn't intended getting back to my normal life. I had a whole plan what was going to happen. You know, there's my planning again. You know, go to school for one class and be over with it. And now I'm taking 4 classes because they screwed up my credits.
Yeah, and those online classes you took, that was a joke. Did they ever give you your money back?
No.
No, they should have.
Because they sent it to me late.
Well, yeah, we documented that. But then just as you think you know where you're going, you walk through town and what happened?
Oh, that!
Yeah!
Oh, okay. So, a couple of things, really. I almost lost my foot, which was interesting. Not literally. I was walking down the port, like the beach, and I was wearing flip-flops. Last time I'm going to wear flip-flops. And I stepped on something. I sliced my foot open.
Uh-huh.
And my toe. Had to go to the emergency room. It cut a bunch of my nerves in my foot. And this was maybe a week after we got back.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm just now recovering. My foot still hurts because the nerves endings are trying to connect themselves back.
You think universe trying to tell you something?
I don't know. And so when I was at the hospital, universe has been just knocking my teeth out, left and right, you know?
Yeah.
Last thing I think of, the hospital went to go take my temperature, hit my tooth with a thermometer, my tooth chipped off.
Yeah.
So I'm literally being kicked in the teeth, but I don't know what it's trying to tell me.
Yeah.
But look, my teeth are looking good.
Yeah, here we get a close-up look at this whole thing. Here you go. Pretty teeth. Yeah, I'll smile.
But I'm getting back to normal slowly.
Mm-hmm.
I still walk with a limp sometimes because I'm on my feet for a long time trying to pay off these bills. But all in all, I'm back to normal, but I have that knowledge that I gained on the trip. So every once in a while I try to take things surprisingly.
You don't stress like you used to.
No, I don't stress.
Mm-hmm.
If it's going to happen, it's going to happen regardless. So why try to force it?
Mm-hmm. And you added a boyfriend?
No.
You didn't add a boyfriend?
No.
I mean, not add another one, you have one.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I have one.
Well, one's plenty.
Yeah, one's plenty.
Yeah.
So.
But that's, how's that working out? Is it interfering in your flow?
It's working out pretty good.
Pretty good?
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So,
knowing the difficulties we had on this trip, with the arrangements we had set before we even went down there, and them being canceled and destroyed, would you be willing to go again?
I'm used to this. I've been doing this since 1997, so that's 10 years. So in the last few years, I feel like I'm just a driver, and the people that go on the journeys with me, it's their lessons, you know. I had to learn a little bit because if you remember, my heart pills melted, remember?
Yep.
In Gerlach. And so I kept taking the pills that were no good. I had challenges with my heart medication. My heart valve is not stuck anymore. It's leaking, you see, so I have to kind of rearrange. I don't know what that means exactly, but I have to rearrange things a little bit. But I'm 60 years old now, and one of the things that I was so grateful for was that you went with me, because there come a time somebody, I would hate to think I'm doing all this work for no reason. Somebody has to eventually, you know, pick up the slack on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you might be ready. You know what? How about, are you willing to do an experiment?
I'm willing to do an experiment.
Okay. Well, let's go get us some pastry and get our strength up the par here. And let's play with some predictions for next year. You think you're up to that?
I'm open to new things after this trip.
Oh, that's wonderful. So why don't we do that and see how we come out, and we're not keeping score of who does what. Let's see how, you want to do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is an experimental thing.
Yeah.
So, to see if I can be the little P.
The little P. I'm the big P. Yeah. I got the from a relative. I'm not a big P, standing for psychic. Because not everybody in the family is as open-minded as we are, so they can't say the word psychic.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the big P and you're the little P. Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna head down to this neat little Mexican shop and pick
Yeah.
us up some pastries.
Yeah, we'll show you the shop, and I want to ask you one more thing. How about yeah, I'm gonna before we left, would you remember how all this came about?
How all of what came about?
We decided to, people kept saying, are you gonna go, are you gonna go, and we had no clue. Do you remember why we didn't have a clue?
You mean coming home?
No, going on the
leaving?
trip altogether.
We didn't know if we were actually going to be able to go because our money issue was very strong. We knew we had enough money to get at least halfway down, and that covered the food and the gas. But we just went ahead and left and struggled our way back. But so I think we're still kind of feeling that now,
Mm-hmm.
especially since the holiday season's coming up and everything's going up.
And had you known what was ahead, what should have went?
You mean getting food poisoning and everything?
Well, I don't know about that.
But going down there and experiencing the things that I did,
Yeah.
yeah, I probably would have went. You know, I'm not gonna ever forget that I saw my first cactus and spend the night in a ghost town, and got to spend time in LA. If you notice, I'm not wearing my Coco Pelli necklace. It disappeared.
It disappeared.
Somewhere from LA here, and so if anybody finds it, I guess you're supposed to have it, because it just left me.
Mm-hmm. So next time Universe calls us, Ebony.
I'm gonna say, when do you want me to go?
Yeah.
So, that's probably what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
If I keep getting knocked in the teeth, I'm obviously gonna turn around and do something else.
Something else,
But
yeah.
I think it was nice for me to get knocked on my behind just when I came back, because I was exhausted, and I tried to get back into what I was doing, because I had so many things I had to do before school started again and everything. But just for that week that I was on the couch with my foot up, that was nice to be able to sleep and make up for all that time. And let my body regenerate and everything.
Uh-huh.
So
So what was the biggest lesson for you?
the biggest lesson, besides not eating anything you
Broccoli.
the biggest lesson would be go with the flow of things. That was the big thing, because I kept trying to force a way back. Let's go here today. Let's go here today. And yeah, it kind of happened, but not because I said. Because we had to get back because we didn't know you were getting sick.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was pretty sick.
So that's not my doing. That's the universe. So, I'm not in charge.
Yeah, and we didn't do the gravel road, so.
Yeah, that's one thing we didn't do. So.
Are you ready for pastry?
I am ready for pastry.
In Tumwater to go to the dollar store, and I ran into a new addition here. It's a new store, and it is right kitty corner here, from where the dollar store is. Capitol Boulevard, of course, and then Jiffy Lube is right behind the building here. Well, so just come along here. We'll go and talk to the people for a minute. Apps. How are you?
Fine, man. Okay, dear.
Your new store?
Yes, it is. It's we're making a start.
Are you going to stay for a while?
Hopefully, it all depends on how my customers do.
Would you be nice enough to tell me that in Spanish?
Depende si la gente le gusta la tienda como la tenemos. Si están contentos, sí, ¿por qué no?
And you are in Tumwater?
Aquí en Tumwater, sí.
Okay. Well, welcome to the neighborhood, because we only store like that here.
Es la única tienda aquí cerquita de aquí alrededor.
I saw, and maybe you could tell me that in Spanish also, I see we can pay utility bills.
O sí, ya pueden pagar los recibos, pueden pagar lo que quieran aquí, cualquier clase de recibo cuando gusten.
And you have telephone cards?
Tenemos tarjeta de teléfono, tenemos envío de dinero, tenemos todo lo necesario que se pueda.
Fresh bakery every day?
Every 2 days, cada 2 días.
Every 2 days? Okay, did I leave out anything we need to know? And if you don't mind, now.
Pues no sé si les gusta pasar a ver lo que tenemos. Tenemos varias cosas mexicanas, todo lo que se pueda tener. Si hay una cosa que no tengamos y podemos ayudarlos, con mucho gusto los ayudamos.
Okay, so am I supposed to say thank you now? I don't know what you said.
I'm saying if you want to come in and see how's the store, you want to check out the stuff we have, you're welcome to come in and see.
Okay, I'll do that.
If you have questions, I can help you out, I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. Look at the pastry here. It's nice and fresh. I come here almost every other day to get pastry. So bring the kids for the candies.
That's right.
You can lock that back door.
All right,
I'm gonna get on your roof and check.
And look at the dresses for little girls when they go to church. Many spices, cheeses, plantains. We have milk and cheesecake. An array of fresh fruits here. Now these are not bananas, they are plantains, so it's okay that they look like that. And those are the little noodles for your soup, if you can find them anywhere else. For the friends in Germany, you see, we have Maggi too. Woof, woof. There's quite a bit of music here for those of you that like music like that.
Música. Tarjeta para los cumpleaños.
In Spanish?
Tarjeta para los cumpleaños.
Yeah.
Spanish.
Are they in English?
They are Spanish.
Oh, cool, Spanish. For the birthday parties.
Piñata para los cumpleaños.
Cool. Look at the colors. And I spotted Nestle's ice cream. Nestle's ice cream. Okay, parakeet. A smoker, good man.
Okay, primeramente Dios, you want to say in English, Spanish?
Both.
Okay. Primeramente Dios, en unas 3 o en un mes más o menos empezamos la tortillería. Es una tortillas calientes. hopefully like in a month, 3 weeks in a month, we're gonna start having a tortilla factory, warm tortillas, homemade tortillas, and let's see what happens. But you know, it's taking a little bit of time to have everything installed and everything. We're trying to do our best to see if we can fit.
Cool. So welcome to the neighborhood.
Y muchísimas gracias por la bienvenida aquí en Somewhere.
Okay, thank you. Gentleman that has a thought.
Ok, mi nombre es Leo y les recomiendo la tienda Ramírez. Vengan y compren, aquí tienen de todo y serán bien atendidos por la familia Ramírez. Gracias. That's it.
So if I understood you right, you are part of the Ramirez family.
No,
So
I'm
what
friend,
is that? Your
Ramirez
friend.
family's
Yeah.
friends.
It's what happens when you don't speak Spanish.
Pardon me?
When you don't speak Spanish, you just fill in the blanks and get it all turned around. Well, thank you. Nice meeting you.
No problem.
Cool.
Smile big, Miss E.T.
How did you get in here so fast?
I ate my pastries.
Already?
Uh-huh.
Was it good?
Yep.
Good. Wonderful.
Well, I'm just waiting for Lillian to finish her pastry. Well, there you are.
Lillian's finished. Oh!
How was your pastry?
It was good. It was really, really good. We're gonna set this timer. What, 20 minutes? That's 10 hours.
20 minutes.
We're not gonna do this for 10 hours, huh? Okay, well, you can charge it up then.
Okay.
We got a kitty sitting here. I'm glad we talked about weight because we might as well get used to all of this because it's not gonna go away. It's just gonna stay there. I called Claudia, CK, and asked her if she would want to help us with
Our predictions.
our predictions. So this is what she said. Weiblich. Heftige Situationen in Debatten gegen Betrug und Finanzes, moderische Lügne, Ende all. Oh, that's not English.
No, that's
Oh, the wrong paper. Okay, when we do it in English,
okay. Yeah,
let's do it in English.
they might understand English better.
Okay, there you go. I'm gonna give you read for just one at a time, okay?
Mhm.
And I'm gonna find you a security blanket. What that means is when we need something to concentrate on, you know, like what do you call it?
A focus point.
Right. You read one,
Mhm.
and I'll find you a focus point. How's that?
Okay. So, a complicated situation will arise because of the many debates will start and continue for some time.
Yeah, we have to talk loud. Here,
Pyramid.
a pyramid. There you go. Do we have two of these?
I handed you one.
Okay, it's in English. I'm gonna have to step back a little bit here because I already worked up the prediction for Kanashiba-san. That's next week, and what she said and what I have is so really really close,
Mhm.
and so I don't want to spoil that with what I already know. This is for the United States
Mhm.
for 2008, I think, or else it could be between now and the end of the year. I don't know. Complicated situations. What do you think that has to do with?
When I read this, I immediately thought of the presidential elections.
Huh?
And then when it says because the many debates will start and continue for some time, I think the presidential elections, they're going to be debating and it's going to be so good. But since we have to vote on a certain day, a lot of America is not going to have their decision made, so they're just going to vote, and it's not going to be what they really want. So the debates that they're going to be debating against are just going to go on, and we're not going to get it resolved because we're going to have to rush it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Because I mean they've been. See, we got another year to go. We almost have another year. As of the taping of this is September, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We almost have another year to go until the elections.
Oh.
Did you realize that?
No.
Yeah, so it's not that election is right around the corner. We have, in November, we still have 1 year to go.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but a circus.
Huh.
You see? Now, last year, Kana Shibashan said that Hillary Clinton was not going to run. And I thought, well, that's weird because we have never been known to make such a big error.
Mm-hmm.
Error. But we always tell people, if you don't like what we tell you, change it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if by her running changed everything. And then somebody called me and said, you know, it's another over a year. So maybe she'll drop out somewhere. Which means she officially wouldn't run.
When I get the feel of Hillary Clinton, it's not her running. It's Bill Clinton running through Hillary.
You think she allowed that?
I think she would. But that's how I get Hillary. Like, the vibe I get from her, it's not her. It's her husband. I don't think he has enough support to run himself.
Well, he can't. Legally, he can't.
Well, so I feel like he's running
Through her.
That's what I get from Hillary.
But, you know, he had a near-death experience when he had his heart problem, and I don't think he's the same person. His outlook is different, and, that's interesting. Whoa, all right. The next one would be, what's the next one?
What does that word say?
Deceit.
Deceit and money matter. This is based on lies and fabrications. This will come to light eventually.
Mm-hmm. I think you have to come back a little bit this way. Yeah.
I'm getting lost. Deceit and money matters.
Mm-hmm. As we're taping this, Mr. Greenspan has just released his book, and that kind of gives a little insight on some things that some of us have known for a long time.
I'm not really getting anything from this, so I'm going to skip it and come back.
That's funny because some people think that since the money is only on paper anyway, so there wouldn't really be any money there, you see what I mean? Like, it's just not there, you know, it's all, it says here, it's based on lies and fabrication, so.
You know, that makes me think, I had a dream last night about money. I was walking, and it was nighttime. I was walking through an alley, and there was a guy behind me, and he had a rocket launcher. But I went to Walgreens to cash a check, and they gave me $20 cash. It was $1 bills, and they printed it up on a printer, like right in front of me. And I was like, what? And so I looked at it, and it had all these different people on the bills besides George Washington.
Did it?
That's what I dreamed last night. So,
You said he had a rocket launcher?
yeah, behind me, and I was like, I just walked into Walgreens to cash a check, and they typed it up on a computer and just printed these bills.
Wow.
So,
so
maybe our money's just going to be pointless.
Pointless. Do you remember, in back to Gerlach, we just seemed to get stuck in Gerlach today. Do you remember the rocket on the wall? Do you remember what it had in there?
Panties.
Underwear, yeah, so.
But, that's actually what came to my mind, that probably our money's not going to matter. Maybe that's why it had different people than George Washington, because we might have the money, but it's going to be not valuable.
Yeah, not there.
So, that's what I get from that.
Okay. And then she says, now, keep in mind, this is CK stuff here. Problems. It says affairs, but not sexual. And, no, she wasn't sure if it was sexual type affairs, but it's going to create several problems. And while all this is going on, now keep in mind, we got another year to go to election, and while all this is unfolding, a man comes out of nowhere. Now, I had that last year for this year, and we thought it was Obama that just bam, there he was, right? And she wasn't sure if it was him or not, and said that this man will emerge, and he's a very professional type individual, and in some kind of way he can miraculously stabilize the country, especially financially. So what do you think of that? Yes, your pyramid.
Focusing on my pyramid. This man, professional, disappears.
No, he just, like, bam, there he is, and he isn't here yet. It's like somebody new comes on the scene. I'm not sure, but we thought it was Obama that just kind of, popped in from nowhere.
I'm not really positive. Man, I'm almost feeling like he's coming from a different country.
But then he can run for president. But maybe he could be a financial advisor or something.
He could be like
an
ambassador.
Something, yeah. Or maybe financial decisions going to be made from a different continent.
That might actually happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it talks about much secret correspondence. That would also indicate it comes from somewhere else. And then it says terrible news and a shocking revelation. And it says it's necessary because the future demands it, and it'll turn into something positive. This might have to do with money. Do you feel money or person?
I feel money.
Money.
That's what my thing is. I'm feeling money. Like, maybe we're going to be secretly paying somebody off to make our decisions outside the U.S. So, that might actually happen.
And then the next one says that the financial setup is, at the moment, it's a terrible waste. It's all based on lies. And it said, and this, you see what it says here?
This will be discovered.
In capital, see?
It'll be hard to recover and take a long
time. So maybe it's a foreign market that'll flip the whole thing. And then this is the trouble for the woman. And the male replacement is not yet in the picture. And I wanted to think Hillary Clinton again. But then I'm not sure. I'm almost thinking that there's another woman in the woodwork somewhere.
When I read that, my mind went to, we were talking about how women are starting to reproduce themselves. And so, maybe more women are going to be getting together instead of marrying men. And they're going to start to replace the men.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow.
So, the women are going to be the dominant group. That's what I'm getting from that.
Wow. And it says decisions have been made, but it's all predestined. And then it talks about, and you want to do the next one?
Labor's workforce will have many challenges in maintaining their jobs. As a result, unions will be very unhappy.
Yeah.
So, I'm getting a lot of businesses are going to be shut down. Mass businesses, I'm thinking military. So, I'm thinking the military. But the military doesn't have unions. It has the government.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how that would work. But I'm going with that answer. Here again, I already did my part for the predictions. And
try not. I almost kind of know what this is, but I don't want to mix it up. I might make reference to what we just said here in our prediction show. But the thing is here, everything is so fabricated. Everything is on paper, everything is on projection. So if you were to put it in a literal physical, it just doesn't pan out. Back to your foot. If I had said to you, you need to take a few days and recapture what you've learned and just kind of rethink, and you'd have said what?
I don't have time.
And so then you cut your foot and then what?
I had all the time I wanted to think about it.
Yeah, you see, so just kind of like that. So I think a lot of things are predestined, and all we have to do is just kind of maneuver it a little bit.
We can do it the easy way or the hard way.
Cut your foot up and knock your teeth out while you're at it. Are you hopeful for next year?
I have a lot of hope. I have high hopes. Next year, about this time, I'm hoping I'll be more like you.
Oh, wow.
And can actually go out and do stuff without knowing what I'm going to do.
Yeah. But as far as the country, I think it's going to be rough. It's really going to be rough because, you see here, people always think that if something comes to end, it drops on a dime. It's like at the end. But, it's going to take us years to recover from where we are.
Well, when a dime drops, it doesn't stop. It just bounces.
It bounces.
So we're in the bouncing effect.
Yeah. So if you had children right now, what would you hope for your children?
What I hope for my children? I don't know. Just hope they'd be responsible. And I hope they would be responsible and make a difference to other people. Put that impact in somebody's life.
Well, in order for that to happen, the country would have to stabilize.
Yeah. Because right now, I don't think it would be a good time to have a child for me. Just because there's so much going on that I wouldn't want to bring somebody into the world like that.
That's kind of what Claudia came up with, which I thought was interesting because she's from a different country. So she really don't know anything about America, other than maybe what we tell her when she comes, what she sees on the news. But I thought this was so in tune with, what the story is here. So I think it's fairly accurate.
Yeah.
Anything so mainly it's a summary rather than politics and events. You see up here, it talks about terrible news and shocking revelations. What I did over the weekend, I watched all the shows that Kana Shibashan and I did to see what we said at what time and how it played out in over a 10-year period. And even though when we have predictions like that, when you realize what it really was, this needed to happen for this to take place. Even 9/11. Because with 9/11, without the 9/11, we wouldn't be where we are.
No.
You see. And then the administration, the present administration, would not have been able to make the decisions that they did. But in order for our generation here to learn some, I guess they had to make those decisions.
It's a good teaching tool.
That's it. Just people get hurt. just people get hurt.
But I know a lot of these predictions that I put in my own words were a lot about the government and the money But that's what America's at right now, is based on the government's actions and how much money we have.
We're almost at the end of the show. In school, you went back to school here for just a little bit. Do the young people discuss things like that, or are they doing other things?
Mainly at my school, the young people are off doing other things.
Other things. Because I remember when Tamara was in high school, they had groups for different things, and they were very enlightened back then. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they don't do that anymore?
We have our clubs.
Mm-hmm.
We have like a debate club,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't really discuss politics in school.
Uh-huh.
Just the other day, somebody said, Hillary Clinton's running, and somebody said, Hillary Clinton's running for president? And I thought that was kind of odd because it's all over the news.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my generation really doesn't watch the news. And that's one thing I like to do.
Yeah.
I like to know what's going on.
And you keep watching us. You can watch the news you like, but sometimes we come up with some pretty good advice too. Miss, I don't know if you can see her, but here, look.
Miss E.T.'s here.
Miss E.T. I'm glad we got to do this, Ebony. I know you have a lot of things to do. And from a 1 to 10, how much growing up did you do
On
before,
the trip.
after, and the trip?
I say about a 7. I grew up pretty much.
Yes, our bus said we got to go. She grew up a 7. Any volunteers next year? We'll take you along, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. We'll see you next week, huh?
Yeah, we'll see you next week with the prediction show, right?
The prediction show. The other prediction show.
Bye.
Bye. We're going to end today's show with a song that was written by a gentleman that came up from Tijuana, Mexico in the year 2000 and wrote and debuted this show on this song on our show. And the arrangements of that was made by Bernie Salazar. So enjoy, and then Randy Shaw will sing us out. And we'll see you next week.
Para mi gente con cariño, decidido me vine pa'l norte, dejando mi hogar, mi patria y mi gente. Pues cansado de ser yo muy pobre, en unos días llegué a la frontera, muchos riesgos pasé en el camino, y mi destino era llegar al norte. Ya viviendo en Estados Unidos, anduve en la pista, la poda y los pinos. Lavaplatos y limpiando baños son los trabajos que hace el latino, y aún así nos dicen los mojados por hacer lo que no hacen los gringos. En los campos y duros trabajos me encontré a puros latinos, pero así nos gritan ilegales, mas nunca vi trabajar. se quedan flotando en el río o muertos en el desierto por no traer algo. A mi gente le dedico este canto y no es por envidia, sino para que sepan que no es el sueño vivido en los Estados Unidos. Aquí por la discriminación a todos los latinos, no pierdas lo tuyo, tu familia, tu tierra, tus valores. De corazón te lo digo, paisano. En los campos y duros trabajos me encontré a puros latinos y aún así nos gritan ilegales, mas nunca vi trabajando un gringo. Ellos piensan que somos esclavos y no aceptan que suba el latino. Quédate en tu tierra, paisano, no vengas a Estados Unidos. Aquí solo verás que te humillan y no creas que es un sueño divino. Nos dicen ilegales y esclavos por hacer lo que no hacen los gringos. No pierdas lo tuyo, paisano. Cuida tu familia, cuida tu gente, sobre todo tus valores.